So I've got a few platforms set up. My goal here is to bevel these edges down, so this and this off of this face, so to get more convexity on this face, so that thinning is easier, and then to get this face a little bit nice and more round while thinning at the same time. I've got a platform here. I'm going to come in from the corners so as not to lose too much length nor width. I've got a platform here in this corner and this corner, and then I've got some steep ones right here just to remove some little flakes out of there. I'll probably hit these with a hammerstone, and then actually I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to get to work on this. Get out my braider. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strike this platform here, and I'm going to try and remove a flake right there along the base. Okay, so that didn't, I was pinching a little hard, but we got a nice little flake right here. Okay, now we'll come in from the other side. These are pretty steep platforms, but here we go. So we struck this platform here, which the angle is fairly steep, but got a nice flake, and it did some good thinning. And you know, you could shape like a cahokia or something out of this too. So, anyways, clean it up. Okay. Scrunch. Here's our next one. Right here, remove a flake off of here. So that was a pretty steep angle, and I struck a little too hard inward, and it stepped out because it dove, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. We've got a nice ridge from the other side, and ultimately this piece is going to get a lot smaller, and right now I'm just trying to thin as fast as possible. I'm not worried about steps, because at this point, unless I get a stack, I can pretty much get it from any of these sides. This isn't exactly a monster piece here. Alright, I'm going to hit on one of the corners here. Keep the padding there. Support it in my hand. Ooh, I gotta abrade that better. I might have messed that up, but we'll see. I got another one right next to it as a backup. Okay, so took a bit of a lip flake there. A lip flake is where it takes off part of the edge, and I had to hit a little bit above the edge there, and we got a nice little flake. Again, it terminated as a hinge, but sometimes early on here these hinges are nice because when you catch them from the other side, you can actually do a lot of really nice rapid thinning. So steps and hinges aren't always evil, it just depends on the context in which you're using them. Now, in later stages, yes, you don't want bad terminations, but in this early stage stuff, as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't really care less. You guys can't really see that, it's not in frame. Whoop. Okay, so I just took a little flake right there, just to kind of get this face a little bit flatter. I'm going to tidy up this side. So I've got one nice ridge running along the base of this piece here, and I've actually got entry points from either side. This one's a little steep, but let me see. Yeah, that one's a little steep. I could try and knock off this little bump above it, and it would make it completely accessible for me, but yeah, maybe I'll try this one. We'll give it a go. Alright, I'm going to support it in my hand, shooting for an overshot if we can get one. Ooh, didn't hit it. Alright, so we were shooting for an overshot, and we did get something pretty close to it. Flake ran to here, not quite an overshot, but we still have a secondary ridge we can follow. And that created a little stress because of how hard I hit inward, so you can see there's a little crack, but that's fine right now. There are some cracks in this piece, like we've got a crack right there, And that wasn't a step, that's actually a crack. But that's how it is with rocks. I mean, unless you buy your stuff pre-spalled out, you're not gonna find, even then, it's pretty rare that, you know, rocks and cracks kind of go together. Alright. And it, you know, sometimes the fun part about flint knapping is kind of chasing problems. Like, okay, we got a crack here, we're gonna fix that. And at least being aware of where they are is very important. So I'm just trimming the edge up right now. I'm just trying to create a little bit more of a working edge because these are pretty heavily beveled at this point. I'm going to come in from this corner, so I'm going to isolate a little bit. Scrunch the isolations out. Ooh. Alright, there it is. There's a little platform right here. It does have a bit of a high spot. We'll see how it goes. There's a nice ridge. I've been editing these videos, so I'm trying to nap faster now because it just takes so long. And anyways, trying to figure out how I want to support this thing without creating too much bending forces on it. I'll do it with my hand. Well, probably shouldn't have done it in my hand, but whatever. I get a little bit more of an inward strike when I'm on the pad. Alright, so I'm just going to start kind of taking opportunistic flakes. I'm going to take one here to bevel down. Another one next to it. One in the middle. Right. Take one here. Nice little blender into there. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hopefully you can see it. I gotta be more mindful of that. Clean it up.